I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 20th, 2015. After saying during his campaign that he would not support a Palestinian state, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu clarified his comments, explaining that he does support two states for two peoples, just not in the current reality. Netanyahu told NBC News in his first post-election interview yesterday that he wants a sustainable two-state solution.
I haven't changed my policy. What has changed is the reality. Abu Mazen, the Palestinian leader, refuses to recognize the Jewish state. He's made a pact with Hamas that calls for the destruction of the Jewish state. And every territory that is vacated today in the Middle East is taken up by Islamist forces. I want a sustainable, peaceful two-state solution, but for that, circumstances have to change.
The United States administration had reacted to Netanyahu's initial comments, which seemed to reject a two-state solution earlier this week, and had said that with the prime minister's change in position, they would need to evaluate their approach on the issue. After Netanyahu clarified what he meant on NBC, the White House still expressed concern. State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki told the press yesterday that the U.S. firmly supports two states for two peoples, and that, quote, certainly the Prime Minister's comments from a few days ago called into question his commitment to that.
We believe he changed his position, so certainly we can't, forget about those comments.
Meanwhile, pro-Israel lobby AIPAC has urged the Obama administration to accept the sincerity of Netanyahu's statements and recommit to improving the U.S.-Israel relationship. Writing in a statement late yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly and clearly reaffirmed his commitment to a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We urge the administration to further strengthen ties with America's most reliable and only truly democratic ally in the Middle East. Jewish organizations welcomed Netanyahu's clarifications on the two-state solution issue and expressed their hope as well for them to be recognized by the White House. Leaders of the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations, Chairman Robert Sugarman and Executive Vice Chairman Malcolm Hoenlein, said, "We believe that the Prime Minister's reaffirmations of his positions should be accepted. And as the new government is formed, the parties should work to enhance cooperation between the Democratic allies and advance the special U.S.-Israel ties." National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Abe Foxman, said it was unfortunate that many jumped to conclusions about the policies of the new Israeli government, saying in light of the Prime Minister's clarification, it is more important than ever to show respect and restraint, to allow the Prime Minister to build his coalition and to publicly express his government's policies regarding the Palestinians, the international community, and other key issues. And U.S. President Barack Obama called Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday to congratulate him on his election victory. According to a readout of the call from the White House, the president stressed the importance the U.S. places on the close military, intelligence, and security cooperation with Israel, something he said reflects the, quote, deep and abiding partnership between both countries. Obama also reiterated U.S. support for a two-state solution, and both leaders agreed to continue consultations on many issues, including the, quote, difficult path forward to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Haaretz reported today that House Speaker John Boehner will be visiting Israel at the end of this month. Haaretz cited three unnamed Israeli officials in their report, saying that Boehner was expected to arrive in Israel on March the 31st at the head of a delegation of Republican congressmen. There was no official comment by the House Speaker's office to the Haaretz report. 3 years to the day after a deadly terror attack struck a Jewish school in Toulouse, France, another Jewish school in Paris was evacuated following an apparent bomb scare. French news website JSS News reported that police searched the classrooms and common areas at the École Alliance Gustave Levin in Paris yesterday using bomb-sniffing dogs. No explosives were reported to have been found, and there was no further information on the reason for the evacuation. On March the 19th of 2012, Islamic terrorist Mohammed Merah opened fire at the Ozar HaTorah school in Toulouse, killing Rabbi Jonathan Sandler, two of his children, 6-year-old Aryeh and 8-year-old Gabrielle, and daughter of the school's principal, 8-year-old Miriam Monsenego. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 20th, 2015. Remember, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 tonight from New York City's Central Synagogue. And looking ahead to the weekend, this Sunday at noon, catch a special L'chaim with Mark Golub, a post-election roundtable discussion on how Netanyahu won the Israeli election and repercussions from his campaign remarks. That's with author Phyllis Chesler, syndicated columnist Micah Halpern, chairman of the Moetzah Mekomit of New York, an Israeli council representing over 150,000 Israelis in the greater New York metropolitan area, Oren Hyman, and the outstanding journalist and writer for the New York Jewish Week, Jonathan Mark. The program will replay Sunday at 6 p.m. and Monday at 3 p.m. here on JBS and jbstv.org. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.